So do you want to know what are the top 10 digital marketing trends for this year? I would like you to take notes, and I'm going to go straight into it because I'm going to share with you some ideas where if you are able to focus on these 10 areas, you can be ahead of the curve and you won't be wasting your time just trying to do things because everybody's saying so. Okay. What I'm going to share with you here today is more specific to entrepreneurs who want to really make their effort on digital profitable, not just seeking likes and followers and stuff. That's one side of the game. But I'm going to talk about a totally different perspective on how you can make your effort in the digital space directly impact revenues. You want more money in the bank? This is the video for you. So take notes. Let's get in. So my name is Siddharth Rajsekar, and I'm going to be getting to these top 10 digital marketing trends, starting with the first one is I see Facebook groups coming back. Ever since Facebook has become Meta, I'm seeing a pattern right now where people are beginning to realize the value of Facebook. We had an exodus of people going away from Facebook into Instagram, and now people, they're so, consumed by all that glitter and glamour on Instagram. They're beginning to come back to form more meaningful conversations and to really participate in meaningful conversations in platforms like Facebook groups. So I think Facebook is going to be making its comeback, especially with Meta and all the different changes that are happening on the platform. Yes, Instagram is great in terms of reach and visibility, and all the influencers have fun over there. But when it comes to meaningful, in-depth conversations, I see this is the first trend as we move into this year. Okay, the next trend that I see is YouTube is going to be a very valuable platform in the long run. Okay, those of you who are not focusing on YouTube organic, you're missing out on something big, because if you look at platforms like Instagram and Facebook and other social media channels, a lot of stuff gets lost in the newsfeed. But YouTube is one of those channels where if you're able to put long form content above 10 minutes in duration, even after 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, you can be found. And interestingly, the videos that I've put like 2 years ago, 3 years ago is still working for me even right now. So it's a very sustainable strategy to really focus on if you want to be successful in the digital space. The third trend that I have to share is the whole aspect of podcasts and podcasting. And I've said this time and again that podcast listeners are more serious listeners as compared to somebody who's just watching a reel for 15-20 seconds and jumping to something next. They're very distracted listeners. But if somebody is tuning into your podcast for 15, 20, 30 minutes, you can be sure that they are like a buying, potential buyer of your products or services. So if you don't have a podcast yet, please launch your podcast. And that way you'll be able to reach out more to your customers on a deeper level. In fact, go and check out my podcast. If you go to sidz.co/podcast, sidz.co, let me give you the link. You can go and tune into my Freedom Business podcast. I'm going to be touching around 100 episodes at this point when I'm recording this video, probably more if you go and check it out. And you'll be able to see the way that I've rolled out these podcasts. Now you can do like a podcast which is more interview format, or you can even do conceptual, in-depth information kind of a format. Okay, now what I see is another trend is email marketing. A lot of people think that email marketing is dead, and Gmail, everything's going to the promotional folder and all of that stuff. But you know what? Even if you have to create a social media account anywhere, you need an email ID. So email ID is a very personal communication media. And I see this is only going to get better and better, especially if you're somebody who's segmenting your leads in the best possible way. So for example, the way that I've structured my email marketing strategy is based on the customer journey. So whenever somebody registers for my webinar, they get tagged as a webinar lead. In case they attend my webinar, they get tagged as an attendee. In case they miss my webinar, they get tagged as somebody who missed the webinar, so they can come back the next time. In case they left early, they get tagged separately. In case they buy my product, my level 1 product, they get tagged separately. In case a person buys my level 2 product, my gold membership, then they get tagged separately. They buy my level 3 product, they get tagged separately. So I've completely automated the whole email marketing tagging process, where there's unique communication going to each segmented audience, whether they're a lead or they're a customer. So this is going to be a very important strategy. And this has always been happening for many, many years, but it's all the more important right now with so much of noise created to have more, audience specific communication. Okay. Now, the other thing is you got to think about the mobile first web. If you see like 90% of people are browsing and accessing websites on their mobile devices. So if your website is very slow loading and I'm not just talking about mobile optimization, but I'm also talking about AMP, like amplified for mobile devices. Okay. Like how fast can your website load within a few seconds. And that's why even if you go to internetlifestylehub.com, which is my main company website, I've just stripped it down to the bare bones and the basics so that it loads extremely fast on mobile devices, because people are reading stuff and accessing information on their mobile devices more than anything else. So if you have a website right now that's very heavy with a lot of images and videos and all kinds of stuff, strip it down and make it mobile first, and that will help you cut through all that noise and help you reach out to your market in a more efficient way. Number 6 is I see the rise of private communities also moving up. Now, even though there could be private groups on Facebook, private groups on LinkedIn and all these other media, I can clearly see that platforms like Mighty Networks, platforms like Circle.so, platforms like Tribe.so, all of these are subscription-based platforms where anybody can build their own dedicated social network, and it's their own private network. So this is something which I see is going to grow more and more in the years to come. Like right now in my private network, in our paid member community, we have over 13,000 people in that network with a more than 50 to 60% return rate. And the kind of people who are getting the support inside is amazing. And the kind of interaction, collaboration that's happening is amazing compared to a platform like Instagram, where there's a lot of noise happening and there's random stuff. There's the quality of the network is better when you have your own private network and you screen people before you get them into your community. Okay, and ideally have it as a paid member base. The 7th trend that I see is less is more. Less in terms of communication words. So what I mean by this is, let's say you have an ad, you're running Facebook ads. With as less number of words, if you can communicate what you're trying to offer to your market, the better it is. Okay, so on one side we have long form ad copy, but I'm saying short form, crisp and to the point. Now, even when it comes to websites, in your landing page of the website, like in the home page of your website, don't keep it cluttered with so many words. Keep it really crisp and clean and to the point, because people don't have much time as before. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that's there. So the faster you can get to the message with lesser words, the better it is. And even if you look at video recording also, the way that I'm recording this video is I'm trying to deliver all the goods in a crisp and clear format. Okay, so less is more. Number 8 is YouTube ads. We are seeing the ups and downs on Facebook ads, especially with the iOS updates, and now ad accounts moving from postpaid to prepaid to postpaid. So many changes happening even in Meta that's happening. So my suggestion to all of you here is, those of you who are not running YouTube ads, especially the paid media group over here, start to invest in YouTube ads. I'm seeing a better quality leads on YouTube ads for my specific audience, because they are anyway learning on YouTube and they prefer learning more, continue the learning journey when I run ads on YouTube, bringing people into my webinar. So it's a very, very important strategy. The other thing is the 9th trend I'm seeing is trust signals. Okay, so a lot of people who are looking for products and services, just like how we make a buying decision based on how many people are reviewing on Amazon, whether it's a 4-star, 5-star reviewing, and then we go and buy a product. Similarly, if you look at all of these ad platforms, Facebook and Google, they're also monitoring trust signals from other media. For example, if you go to just search for Siddharth Rajsekar review on Trustpilot, you'll see I have over 4,000 reviews over there. Now, because of so many number of reviews on that particular platform, that is actually helping me reduce my ad costs. And the ad platforms are looking at those trust signals to give me better push in my ads, because these algorithms, if you look in the digital world, they are not just platform specific. Google is looking for other data points beyond their own platform to give weightage for the ads. So in other words, when you're building your brand and if you have a good brand perception in the market, that's going to actually help you in the long run. Okay, you're going to be getting more brownie points on these big advertising platforms in terms of weightage, and connecting to the trust signals is also getting verified. Like I just have my Instagram verified, I have my Facebook page verified, I've got my YouTube channel verified, I've got that verification badge, and that has helped so much, not just in terms of people's perception about me, but it's mostly about even these ad platforms like Facebook and YouTube, they have the confidence to push my ads and feed it more to the respective audience that I'm targeting, and they're able to serve my ads better to my audience because of trust signals. Okay, that's number 9. And finally, number 10 is related to something that I mentioned before, is crisp communication. Okay, so less is more is more to do with the number of information and stuff that you have on your website. But here, crisp communication, if you're doing a podcast, if you're doing a video, if you're writing a blog post, if you're writing an email, like even if it's going to be a long form email, the way that you communicate is going to matter the most in terms of cutting through the noise. People who are using too much of fluff and extra words, they're going to get lost. And the marketers that are going to really make a difference, I'm talking about business owners, entrepreneurs, and marketers that are going to make a difference, are the ones who don't beat around the bush and are able to get straight to the point and give the solution to the problem what the market is looking for. Okay, so these are the 10 trends that I see, and if you're able to resonate with these top 10 trends, please share in the comment box below. Or if you feel there's anything else, do you think there's anything else that I missed out as far as trends for this year? Please share below on what you think is coming up. There could be many other trends, and this is what I see from my perspective. I did not go and look up any blog posts and repurpose that same thing to record this video. This is what's in my mind based on what I'm looking at overall in the digital marketing sphere. And I want to thank you for being in this video. Now, if you are still not a part of my community, I would highly recommend that you attend my next webinar. Okay, so I do a webinar. You can go to sidz.co/live and register for my next webinar. Now, in this webinar, I'm going to teach you how you can take your knowledge and make it into a super profitable business without any office or employees. And I've been able to build a multi-million-dollar business with just 3 employees working for me. And I'm going to unveil that entire system and teach you exactly how you can do the same. Okay. And please attend the session. It's going to be value packed. Take a lot of notes. Make sure that you're sitting in a quiet place and you're able to get a good scoop of the information. And by the way, if you're already a part of my community and if you still have not, leveled yourself up to the next level, then please go and check out the videos on the application form to get into my diamond membership. Okay, that's where the action is, and that's where I would like to see you as well. Wish you all the best, and keep watching out for my future videos like this that's coming up. All the best.